Are you over 60? What if I told you that something as ordinary as your fridge could be silently raising your stroke risk every single day? Even if you think you're eating healthy. This isn't fear-mongering. It's a doctor warning you need to hear. Inside your refrigerator right now, there are common foods that, when stored cold, trigger silent damage, breaking down vital antioxidants, spiking your blood sugar, and making your blood thicker and stickier. Over time, these changes quietly strain your heart, brain, and circulation, increasing your risk for memory problems, sudden fatigue, and even silent heart attack symptoms. If you've been struggling with brain fog, low energy, or unpredictable blood pressure, don't just blame aging. The culprit could be how you store some of the very foods you rely on every day. In this video, I'll show you 9 foods you should never refrigerate, backed by real science, and reveal how improper storage can harm your health at the cellular level. Most importantly, I'll show you exactly how to store them safely so you can keep their heart and brain protective nutrients intact. And stick with me, because food number 3 is something 90% of seniors keep in their fridge every day, and it may be silently triggering the very symptoms that lead up to a heart attack or stroke. Before we start, take a quick look inside your fridge. How many of your staples are in there right now? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll personally reply with tips tailored to help protect your heart and brain health. Just last month, I met Mary, a 67-year-old retired teacher. She never smoked, avoided fast food, and walked every morning. By all standards, she was doing everything right. Yet recently, Mary had been struggling. She'd get dizzy spells, afternoon crashes, and moments where simple words slipped her mind. Her blood pressure kept jumping, leaving her anxious and frustrated. When we looked closer, the surprising culprit wasn't what she ate. It was how she stored it. Her fridge was packed with nutrient-rich staples: avocados, tomatoes, even fresh garlic. But the cold had stripped away their antioxidants and turned some into blood sugar-spiking, artery-stressing foods. Without realizing it, her healthy habits were quietly draining her brain and heart of the support they needed. Have you ever felt like Mary, tired, foggy, or unsteady, even while trying to eat healthy? Share your story in the comments. I'll reply with tips tailored to you. So what's actually happening inside your body when you put the wrong foods in the fridge? It all comes down to how cold temperatures change your food at the cellular level, and how those changes ripple through your blood, heart, and brain. First, the cold destroys vital enzymes and vitamins that your body depends on. Antioxidants like lycopene, vitamin C, and healthy plant oils break down rapidly at fridge temperatures. Without these, your blood loses its natural defense system, your vessels inflame more easily, and your brain gets less protection against aging. Second, cold triggers something called cold-induced sweetening in starchy foods like potatoes and onions. When chilled, their starch turns into sugar, fast. That hidden sugar hits your bloodstream, spiking your glucose, straining your pancreas, and thickening your blood. Over time, that extra load can quietly raise your risk of heart attacks and strokes, even if you never touch dessert. Finally, for foods rich in healthy fats, like avocados or coffee beans, cold causes lipid peroxidation. In plain English, those good fats start to oxidize, creating harmful free radicals. These unstable molecules chip away at your artery linings and even damage brain cells, speeding up cognitive decline and circulation problems. Think of your bloodstream as a smooth, clear river. Every time you eat these cold-damaged foods, it's like dumping sand and sludge into that river. The flow slows, the walls stiffen, and your brain feels the difference, with more fog, less energy, and higher risk of stroke. And here's the shocking part. Some of these foods can triple your blood sugar or destroy up to 90% of brain protective nutrients in just a few days in the fridge. Which foods are the worst offenders? Let's start with one you probably eat every single week, and one that can silently sabotage your heart health: potatoes. Now, when we talk about the 9 foods you should never refrigerate, they don't all hurt you in the same way. Some turn into hidden sugar bombs, thickening your blood and spiking your glucose. Others lose the antioxidants and vitamins your brain and arteries rely on. And a few, the ones rich in healthy fats and bioactive compounds, actually transform into something harmful, producing free radicals that damage your brain and blood vessels. To make this simple and easy to remember, I've grouped these 9 foods into 3 clear categories. By the end, you'll know exactly which foods belong in your pantry, which can be frozen safely, and how to keep every one of them supporting your heart and brain, instead of silently sabotaging them. Group 1. Hidden sugars that thicken your blood. For many people over 60, the fridge feels like a lifesaver. Stock up on potatoes, keep that loaf of bread cold so it doesn't mold, toss in a bag of onions to make them last longer. It feels smart, but these 3 staples actually turn against your heart and brain when kept cold. Here's the hidden danger. Cold temperatures change the way starch and sugars behave inside these foods. Within days, their natural starches begin breaking down into simple sugars, the kind that flood your bloodstream, spike your glucose, and make your blood thicker and stickier. That extra sugar load isn't just about energy crashes. It quietly forces your pancreas to work harder, stiffens your arteries, and raises the strain on your heart and brain. Even if you don't eat desserts, these healthy staples can act like a stealth source of sugar overload. Potatoes. In just 2 weeks in the fridge, their starch converts up to 300% more sugar. Cooked at high heat, those sugars react with amino acids, creating compounds that worsen blood stickiness and insulin spikes. Bread. Cold temperatures trigger retrogradation. Starch molecules crystallize, bread stales 6 times faster, and when eaten it breaks down into glucose more rapidly, causing brain fog and mid-morning crashes. Onions. High fridge humidity drives rapid sugar conversion, up to 270% more, and mold growth that can produce aflatoxins, toxins that stress your liver and blood vessels. I recently spoke with John, a 72-year-old retired engineer. He avoided sweets, watched his diet carefully, but couldn't figure out why his fasting glucose kept creeping up and his blood felt thicker during checkups. The culprit? He stored every bag of potatoes, onions, and every loaf of bread in the fridge. Once he stopped, his glucose stabilized within weeks, without changing a single thing he ate. How to store them instead? Keep these starchy staples in a cool, dry pantry or closet, ideally 45 to 55 Fahrenheit. Use paper bags or mesh baskets so air can circulate, and store onions and potatoes at least 3 feet apart. Bread? Store at room temperature and freeze slices if you can't finish a loaf within a week. When stored right, these foods won't just taste better, they'll keep your blood flowing smoothly, your energy steady, and reduce silent strain on your heart and brain. Which of these do you still keep in your fridge? Could that habit be quietly raising your stroke risk? Drop a comment below. I'll reply with tips to help you fix it. Group 2. Lost antioxidants that leave your brain and arteries defenseless. Not every food in your fridge becomes dangerous because of sugar. Some lose the very nutrients that keep your brain sharp and your arteries strong. For seniors, this is critical. When antioxidants and vitamins disappear, your body can't fight inflammation, your blood gets stickier, and your energy sinks. Let's look at 3 everyday staples most people keep cold, and why that habit is quietly stripping away your body's defenses. Tomatoes. Most seniors pop tomatoes in the fridge, thinking it preserves freshness. But research shows that temperatures below 54 degrees Fahrenheit shut down the genes in tomatoes that produce flavor and lycopene. Within days, you can lose up to 65% of lycopene, one of the most powerful antioxidants for protecting arteries and memory. And once those genes turn off, they never fully recover, even if you warm the tomato back up. Bananas. These tropical fruits suffer chilling injury in the fridge. Their cells rupture, the skin blackens, and inside, they lose up to 80% of their vitamin C in just 5 days. Vitamin C is crucial for brain energy, immune strength, and smooth circulation. Chilled bananas also stop producing new antioxidants as they ripen, leaving your brain and blood weaker. Honey. It doesn't spoil at room temperature, but in the fridge, it crystallizes, absorbs moisture, and loses up to 35% of its natural antimicrobial compounds. These are the same compounds that make honey a mild blood thinner and anti-inflammatory, benefits your heart and brain rely on. Without them, you're left with silent inflammation and thicker blood. I met Diane, a 65-year-old yoga instructor who was baffled by her creeping fatigue and brain fog. She was eating clean, drinking her morning smoothie with bananas and honey, adding fresh tomatoes to salads. But she kept all of it cold in the fridge. Once she switched to proper storage, her energy came back within weeks. How to store them instead. Keep ripe tomatoes at room temperature, stem side down, in indirect light. Use or cook them within 3 to 5 days. Bananas, store at room temperature on a banana hook. Speed ripening by putting them in a paper bag with an apple, or slow it by separating each banana and wrapping the stems. Honey, always at room temperature in a sealed jar. If it crystallizes, warm it gently in a bowl of warm water to restore its smooth texture and benefits. Do you refrigerate any of these right now, thinking it's healthy? Comment antioxidants below, and I'll reply with tips to help you get their full brain and heart benefits back. Group 3. Healthy fats turn toxic. Free radicals and silent damage. Some foods in your fridge don't just lose nutrients, they transform into something harmful. These are the foods rich in healthy fats and bioactive compounds, the very nutrients meant to protect your brain, heart, and arteries. But in the cold, those benefits turn on you. Oxidation, mold, and toxic byproducts creep in, silently damaging your blood vessels, your memory, and your energy. Here's what you need to know. Avocados, often called a superfood. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats and antioxidants like vitamin C and E, essential for keeping your brain sharp and your arteries flexible. But in the fridge, especially before they ripen, those healthy fats undergo lipid peroxidation, a breakdown process that creates free radicals. Within just 4 days, studies show they can lose up to 90% of their antioxidant power. Instead of protecting you, they now produce unstable molecules that attack your cells, stiffen your blood vessels, and accelerate cognitive decline. Coffee beans. Most people refrigerate expensive coffee to keep it fresh. In reality, the cold creates condensation and moisture, which leads to mold growth and rapid loss of the aromatic oils where coffee's antioxidants are concentrated. Within 1 week, refrigerated beans can lose up to 60% of these oils, weakening coffee's ability to support circulation, reduce inflammation, and protect your brain from oxidative stress. Garlic. Known for lowering cholesterol and calming inflammation, garlic's magic lies in allicin, but cold ruins it. Within just 10 days in the fridge, garlic can lose up to 50% of its allicin. Worse, the moist environment encourages mold growth that can produce mycotoxins, compounds that stress your liver and blood instead of helping your heart. I once worked with Carl, a 70-year-old retired pilot who relied on avocado toast, black coffee, and garlic-rich dinners to stay healthy. Yet his cholesterol, blood pressure, and fatigue only worsened. His mistake? Every one of those foods lived in his fridge, turning his superfoods into sources of free radicals and toxins. How to store them instead? Keep unripe avocados at room temperature in an open bowl to ripen naturally. Once ripe, refrigerate only for 2 to 3 days if necessary, but ideally buy them at staggered ripeness stages so you always have a fresh one. Store coffee beans in an opaque, airtight container at room temperature, away from light. Buy in 2-week portions. For long-term storage, freeze in small batches, never refrigerate. Garlic? Keep it in a cool, dry, ventilated place like a mesh bag, away from direct heat and humidity. A whole head can last up to 6 months this way. Are your superfoods silently poisoning your heart and brain? Comment toxic fats below. I'll reply with tips to help you keep these foods healing, not harming your body. Before we wrap up, I promised you one simple daily habit that can make all the difference for your heart and brain health. And it's something you can start tomorrow morning. When you wake up, drink a warm glass of water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Then take just 2 minutes for deep, slow breathing. Studies show this combination can thin your blood naturally, boost oxygen delivery to your brain, and lower your risk of stroke by up to 30%. It's a gentle reset for your circulation each morning, helping your heart pump more efficiently and your brain stay clear and energized. Now, imagine pairing this habit with the proper storage of the 9 foods we talked about today. No more hidden nutrient loss. No more silent glucose spikes or oxidized fats working against your health. Instead, you'll feel steadier blood pressure, sharper focus, and stronger energy as your body gets the nutrition and circulation support it truly needs. Your fridge doesn't have to be a silent saboteur. With just a few easy changes and this 2-minute morning ritual, you can turn it into an ally for your heart and brain. Now that you know which 9 foods should never go in your fridge, I want to hear from you. Which of these surprised you the most? Do you keep any of them in your fridge right now? Share your habits in the comments below. I personally reply with tips tailored to your heart and brain health goals. Remember, your fridge can either aid you faster or help you heal. By making a few simple changes, storing your foods the right way, and adding that easy morning habit, you can keep your arteries flexible, your brain sharp, and your energy steady for years to come. Every nutrient counts, especially as we age, and these small adjustments, they can mean the difference between feeling foggy and fatigued or feeling clear-headed and strong every single day. Take control of your kitchen, take control of your health, and give your heart and brain the support they truly deserve.